Hi everyone, this is Sue from Lakeside Cookie Company. We are going to be decorating our Squishmallow Easter set today. So this DIY kit is going to be really fun. When you open up your box, you're going to see that you have lots of different icing colors. You have a dark yellow and a light yellow, a peach, a dark pink, and a light pink. You also have in your box 3 different styles of cookies. You have the chick cookie, the bunny cookie, and the Easter egg cookie. So you also have a wooden dowel that you're going to use, like I use my scribe tool. So the wooden dowel is pointy at the end, and we're going to use it for moving around icing and popping any icing bubbles that may be in the cookie. So the first thing that we're going to do is you're going to grab a scissors and you're going to cut all your cookies out of bags. You need to have some napkins handy or some paper towels so that you can wipe the tip of your bags or wipe your hands off if you get icing on them. Other than that, scissors, and if you have a fan will do really well. It'll help you kind of dry your cookies as we make them. So I'm going to take my cookies and I'm going to spread them out on my cookie sheet. I've got my bunny cookies, I've got my chick cookies, and I have my egg cookies. I'm going to move my paper towel out of my way and set it to the side. I'm going to move my cookies. I'm going to put them one on top of another so that I have access to all my cookies. I want you to notice that some of the colors of icing are, you have 2 bags of them. The reason why you have 2 bags of the icing is because they're different consistencies of icing. So these 2 yellows are 2 different consistencies. The yellow taped bag is an outline consistency, and the blue taped bag is what we call flood consistency. The flood consistency is much runnier because it has more water in it, and so we put it with blue tape so that you can remember watery like water, blue tape. So the yellow and the pink, the dark pink, both have 2 different bags. There's an outline and a flood of each of these 2 colors. All the other ones are just flood consistency. So the light pink, the light yellow, and the peach are all flood consistency. Okay, now the first thing that we're gonna do after you have all your cookies set up is we're going to take our bags and give them a good massage. The blue ones especially, as soon as we make icing, the icing begins to separate out of the bag. So you'll see like there might be a dark streak in there. That's the icing. The water has separated out of the icing. You see right here. So all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna squish it around and massage my bags a little bit. This is completely normal. And if you're making cookies at home, you probably will need to take your icing out of your bag a few times and mix it as you do your cookies. So we are going to start with our cute little chick, Squishmallow. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our yellow icing. There's a seam on the side of the bag, and you wanna make sure that that seam is nice and flat. So I have my seam on the side, I have it nice and flat, and I'm just gonna cut a really, really tiny bit off of my bag. What the icing that comes out of my bag, I want it to be about the thickness of a toothpick. So I'm gonna hold this icing bag in my hand. I'm going to put the seam facing down into my palm, and I'm gonna pinch the bag with my thumb and my first finger. And then I'm gonna have my bag real nice and tight. I'm gonna squeeze with my fingers to get the icing to come down. And then I'm just gonna make a little line to see how thick my icing is. So it's pretty good. It's about where I want it to be. So as far as thickness goes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to outline my cookie. I'm gonna touch down and lift up, and I'm gonna outline all the way around my Squishmallow cookie. I'm gonna go all the way around the whole thing, including the wings. But when I get to the top of his head, I'm gonna go straight around like this. And then I'm gonna go back And I'm gonna draw this little bump here because he's got a cute little tuft on top of his head of feathers. So I'm gonna make that a separate area. So after you have that cookie outlined, we're gonna move on to our bunny cookie. So I'm gonna take my dark yellow icing here. I'm gonna clip the top off of this again, just a real small amount. And you just wanna clip it straight across. See how tiny my spot is here? Very, very tiny. And then I'm gonna go to my bunny and I'm going to start at the top and I'm gonna make him a cute squishmallow shape. And I'm just gonna go all the way around my cookie. Squishmallow shape is kind of like an egg. So you can just kind of do an egg shape and then go back and outline our Squishmallow's ears. Just like that. And then he's done for outlining. We are also going to go ahead and outline our egg, and we can use whatever color you want for that. I'm just going to use the pink since I already have it in my hand. And I'm just going to go all the way around the outside of the egg. There we go. And now I'm going to go back and I'm going to outline these 3 cookies. So I'm going to move them up a little bit. I'm going to just switch these guys around so that this cookie is right in front of me. And I'm going to start by outlining my chick again. So I'm going to start over here again. And I'm going to do his wing. And then I'm going to go all the way around the bottom, around his second wing, and all the way up around his head. There we go. And then I'm going to draw in this little feather tuft on the side of his head again. I'm going as close to the edge as I can without going over the side. I'm going to go back to my pink icing and I'm going to outline this other Squishmallow. Again, I'm doing that cute Squishmallow egg shape. It's kind of like a fluffy egg. And then I'm going to do his cute little ears. And just connect at the top here. And then last but not least, I'm going to do my egg. Okay. For the egg, we're just going to go all the way around. There we go. Perfect. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to take our yellow flood icing and we are going to fill in this little tuft of hair on our chick. So I'm going to cut off a little bit more on my flood icing bag than I did for my outline. And then I'm just going to go ahead and fill in right here. I'm going to take my scribe tool. You're going to take your dowel with the point, with the pointy end, and you're going to just kind of move in a circular motion to where the icing is. You're going to move it all around in a circular motion so that it goes right up to that outline that we drew. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my second Squishmallow. Same thing. I'm just filling in nice and slowly. I'm going to let this area dry. And while it's drying, I'm going to do the ears on my bunny. So I'm going to take my pink. Remember, all of these should be nice and massaged. All your bags should be nice and massaged, so the colors should not be separated. I'm going to just start on the inside and give my bag some pressure, and I'm just gonna fill. I'm gonna keep on going around in a circular motion until everything is filled. And then I'm gonna set my bag down. I'm gonna use my scribe tool, and I'm just gonna smooth out that icing. There we go. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the opposite side. So I'm filling, and then I'm using my scribe tool and smoothing that out. If you have any air bubbles, you can also pop them with your scribe tool. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do this other bunny, his little ears. Just filling the same way. I'm going all the way around. And you notice I'm not doing all 4 ears right away. I'm doing one at a time, and then I'm stopping and I'm smoothing everything out. So my last bunny ear. Just gonna go ahead and fill this area in. Make sure there's plenty of icing in there. And then I'm gonna smooth this out again with my scribe tool. All right, now I have a little fan here, and I'm gonna turn the fan on and give my cookies a minute to dry. So I'm gonna let that first set of ears and little hair tufts just kind of crust over before I start to fill and do more of my cookie. Okay, so after your cookies have dried for a little bit and this is crusted over, what we're going to do is we are going to take our outline consistency again, and we're gonna draw in our Squishmallow's belly. So he's got a nice arch for his belly. So we're just gonna draw that arch. Draw a nice arch right on his tummy. And then our chick, we also need to draw his belly. So for our chick's belly, what we're going to do is we're going to take the yellow with the yellow tape, and we're going to go ahead and draw in a nice arch. Okay. Now after you have your arches done and the tuft of hair is dry on your Squishmallow, what we're gonna do is we are going to start with our little chick. We're gonna take our yellow, dark yellow with the blue tape, and we are going to go ahead and flood the rest of our Squishmallow cookie. So I'm gonna start on the side, and I'm just gonna go all the way around as close to my outline as I can without going over the edge. I'm gonna go all the way around. I'm gonna go up over the top of his tummy, and then I'm gonna fill in his whole body. Now, after I get that part done, I'm gonna take my scribe tool and I'm going to just smooth out the icing. I'm gonna make sure that I get all the way up to my outline by going in a circular motion. There you go. So now after that part is done, I'm going to take my light yellow with the blue tape. I'm gonna make sure that my bag is nicely massaged so that there's no separation of color. I'm gonna clip a little bit off the tip. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do right in here. I'm gonna go right up against the dark yellow and around my outline. And I'm just gonna fill that area. By doing it right away, when my dark yellow is wet, I get a nice seamless transition from the light yellow to the dark yellow. And then it looks like it's one piece, like a Squishmallow. It's nice and smooth. So we're gonna let him dry, but before we move on, we are going to take 2 little beads that we're gonna make our chick's eyes. So I'm going to do one eye here, and then I'm gonna take another little sugar pearl, and I'm gonna place it right across. And then I'm gonna take my scribe tool and I'm just kind of gonna tap him down just a little bit so that they go right into the icing. So now he's gonna just sit and dry, and we're gonna work on our other Squishmallows. I'm gonna repeat what I did on this one up here. So I'm gonna start over at the wing, going all the way up top and working my way all the way around my Squishmallow. I'm gonna go as close to the outline as I can without going over. And then just fill in so that there's no blank areas. Now I'm gonna take my scribe tool again, and I'm just gonna work in a circular motion, pushing my icing right up against the outline of the cookie. And then I'm taking my light yellow and immediately going right up against the dark yellow in a nice arch, then along the bottom and filling in. Taking my scribe tool again, in a circular motion, I'm moving the icing around and pushing it right up to the outline. After I've done that, I'm gonna take my sugar pearls again, and I'm gonna take 2 of them and drop them right in where I want his eyes to be. And then I'm gonna use my scribe tool and just kind of poke them down. There we go. Now he is done for a little while. So we're gonna move on, and we're gonna move on to our bunny. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take our dark pink with the blue tape, and we're gonna go ahead and fill in his body. So I'm gonna go right up against his ears. I'm gonna go all the way down to where his belly is. And then I'm gonna go up along the other ear and the top of his head. And then I'm just gonna kind of fill in. And then I'm gonna take my scribe tool, and I'm just gonna move this icing right up against his ears. Just in a circular motion. I'm gonna pull it down here, and then I'm gonna take my light pink with the blue tape, and we haven't used this one yet, so I'm gonna snip the top off of that, and I am going to fill in his belly, just like we did on the chick. So there we go, nice and full. And then I'm gonna take my scribe tool and move that icing around. After I finish that one, I'm gonna immediately put in his eyes. So just like our other chick, I'm gonna put in little bunny eyes. I'm just gonna drop them in, tap them down a little bit, and then he's gonna sit until we are done with our eggs. So these guys are just gonna sit now. I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna take my dark pink again, I'm gonna go all the way around my Squishmallow. All the way up against his ears. And just filling in. And then I'm gonna take my scribe tool again, push right up to the ears. And then I'm gonna switch to my light pink to fill in his belly. And then I'm gonna smooth that out with my scribe tool one more time. And then I'm going to give him his eyeballs. One eyeball and two eyeballs. And then I'm gonna just tap them down just like that. Now I'm gonna take my fan and I'm gonna let them dry my cookies a little bit. And as they dry my cookies, I am gonna start to work on my Easter egg. So the Easter eggs, we're gonna use all the different colors of the blue taped bags. So I have my orange, I have the light pink, the dark pink, the light yellow, and the dark yellow. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut the tip off of my orange because I haven't used it yet, but I'm only gonna cut a small amount because we're gonna need that bag for the beak on our little chick. And I don't want it to be too big. So I am going to take my orange icing and I'm just gonna kind of pipe it in wherever I want to on my egg. And then I'm gonna kind of create like a little segment. I'm gonna take another color. I think I'm gonna start with my light yellow. And I'm gonna go all the way up and down and just do another line. Now this doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna swirl it all around and give our egg a cool marble effect. So I'm just gonna go and continue to fill with whatever color I want. I'm gonna do my light pink, and then I think I'm gonna fill this little last part with my dark pink. And then after I have all the colors on, I'm gonna take my scribe tool and I'm just gonna kind of run it around back and forth and swirl it in whichever way I want. And you can see I'm kind of pulling all the colors through each other and it looks kind of like when you dip your egg into food coloring. It gets this cool marbly effect. And that's it. It's really pretty easy. I'm gonna move this one, push this one up top, and move this one a little bit closer to me. And I'm gonna do it again. So this time, I think I'm gonna start with my dark pink and give it a little bit more dark pink than I did last time. And then I'm gonna go to my light pink and my light yellow. And then I'm going to do my dark yellow. And I'm going to end with my peach this time. After it's all filled up in the order that I want it to be, I'm going to take my scribe tool again and I'm just going to start to make fun swirls all through my egg. You can just keep on going until you get it exactly how you want it to look. You can start at any color and just keep swirling it around until it looks good to you. There, I like that one. After you're finished, make sure that you wipe off your scribe tool or your wooden dowel because you want to make sure that you don't have icing stuck on there. Otherwise, it's going to get kind of gross. And you'll have icing stuck when you go to try and dry it. So now the next thing that we're gonna do is we are going to do the beak on our chick. So we're gonna take our peach colored icing and we're just gonna draw a nice triangle, an upside down triangle right in the middle of his eyes. And then I'm gonna do my other chick, giving him a nice triangle beak and filling it in. If you need to use your scribe tool to make it a little bit smoother, you can, but just be really careful that you're only working on that top layer of icing. You don't want to poke through the orange into the yellow. Now, the last thing that you want to do is you want to give our little chick some wings. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our yellow outline, and I'm just going to kind of go on top here. I'm going to give him a nice swoop and then go meet him back up top. So I'm doing a nice curve down, meeting at the edge here and right back up top. And then after I do that, I'm gonna go back with my flood and I'm just gonna fill this in. That way it looks like he has floppy little wings, just like on the real Squishmallow. Okay. And he is really cute. So I'm gonna do the same thing on my top Squishmallow. I'm gonna take my yellow. I'm gonna go in a nice angle down all the way to the edge. And then I'm gonna follow that outline on the outside of my chick. Going all the way up and filling in. And I'm going back in with my flood. And doing the other wing. Oh my goodness, he's really cute. And then I'm just gonna take my scribe tool and smooth any of that out. And there's an air bubble here, so I'm gonna pop that air bubble. And then my chick is finished. So the last thing that we need to do is we need to give our bunny his little face. So for our bunny, we are going to give him a little tiny light pink nose. So he's gonna get a dot here and a dot here, a dot here, and a dot here. And then we're gonna take our dark pink and just give him a little tiny dot on the top there. And there we go. Our little bunny is all finished. Our chick is all finished. And our Easter egg is all finished. If you want to give your bunny a little more dimension, what you can do is you can take your icing, your outline consistency of the dark pink, and you can kind of go back over his ears just to outline so that you can make them a little bit more defined. And then you can do just like we did with the chick, and you can go in with your dark pink flood and just fill in there. And then you just want to take your scribe tool and kind of smooth that out. And fill in your other bunny ear as well. Okay. So I'm just gently moving the icing around and pulling it out. There we go. So there is our Squishmallow Easter set. Super cute, little squishy chick, bunny, and Easter egg. I hope you guys had fun. Enjoy your cookies.